As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. That's First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News. As for this...
Yo.
Hello.
We should be live. Sorry, I did not get the audio off of that dude on the intro screen. So
You did it? Oh no.
I still gotta fix that. But everyone, welcome. Wrestlemania, day 1 of 2. I'm Steven Jensen. Jessi Davin in the house once again. What's up, Jessi?
Oh, nothing much. Just chilling. Happy WrestleMania, day 1. Can't believe it. Feels weird, but hey, we're here. Gotta make the most of it, right?
Feels weird, yeah, and we're here. I've been going back and watching some kind of classic WrestleManias, not the full shows, but some of my favorite matches over the last few days, trying to get hyped up. Unfortunately, it's kind of a bummer because when you're watching it, it's like the fans and the pops and the surprises, and like we're not going to get any of that this year. We might get some surprises, but without the crowd pops. So really interesting. And just for anyone joining us, welcome. Feel free to join the chat. We're going to give our WrestleMania predictions today. And what do you think of just right off the bat, Jessi, with like the no fans and you know, obviously I feel like it's better than nothing, but at the same time, it's like not the best circumstances, obviously.
Yeah, you know, my kind of outlook is I feel like this is like, I say this at every pay-per-view, but my expectations are really low just because of the situation. And I honestly think, and this may be just be me having way too much hope and being way too optimistic, but I really think that WWE has a great opportunity here to have a fantastic show. I really think they've had enough time to edit it. Their video production team is fantastic. I really think that, and especially after watching SmackDown and how pretty decently edited it was, especially that last segment, I really think that this could be a great WrestleMania. I'm not like kind of, you know, when it's live, I always have like in the back of my mind a fear that something's going to go wrong. And at least I know that hopefully nothing's going to go wrong. I mean, knock on wood, I probably jinxed it. But I really think that this could be a year for them to kind of just go full Lucha Underground and just make a production out of it. Since they can't make it a grand spectacle on a large stage, make it a grand spectacle on our screens. And I have hope. And I hope that's not my downfall.
Well, I mean, I think you're right, especially because we'll get to the matches, but there's a lot of like gimmicky stuff on the show, which leads me to believe there's going to be a lot of what you just said. But if they're going to do that kind of stuff, I mean, you might as well. We saw it Impact. Jesus. Oh, I should.
It's all right.
Not okay. I just accidentally said Impact. I meant AEW. AEW, we're doing like the Matt Hardy stuff with like, I know they explained it like it was like a hologram or whatever, but like him teleporting and all that kind of stuff. The stuff you can't do in front of a live crowd that you can do in an empty arena or an empty wherever they're shooting all the stuff, or Performance Center, wherever they're doing all the WrestleMania stuff. Like, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, this is really the only chance you have because there is no crowd. So we'll see if they
Right.
some wacky. I just don't know. We'll get to it as we go through the matches. Ben Espinoza says hi. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Bam. Hi, Imran.
Yes, Imran Bam, welcome. If you want to read Bam's question, go for it, Jesse.
Sure. It says, how do you guys think they split the 2 nights? Day 1 Raw and day 2 SmackDown? They really haven't announced. I know one they said Saturday night, like they pointed it out. I can't remember if that was Raw or SmackDown, but they really have not sent out a like schedule of like what matches are going to be on night 1 and night 2.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea. And to be honest, I've stayed spoiler free. Like I don't know if spoilers
Me
are
too.
even out there. I think that some are, but I've been trying to stay completely away from that. So I really don't know. And I but that would have been probably maybe a good idea to do one night Raw, one night SmackDown. I think that would have made sense.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, I don't know, maybe the mystery will keep people tuned in. But then again, if you go by like, okay, what am I seeing Saturday? So I know what I'm going to see on Sunday if I just deduct what I saw on Saturday. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, also they have
I don't know.
NXT. I didn't think about that, like Charlotte and Rhea Ripley's
Oh, I
NXT
know.
match. Um, so I don't know. Um,
Bums me out. I was supposed to be at Takeover tonight.
yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
I know. It's floor fucking seats to Takeover, dude.
What do they do about that? Do they give you a refund or like move it to like another
Yeah,
event?
I got a refund.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bummer.
Sucks. I know, but it is what it is.
Hey, if you want to win some money though, you know what you can do. Like if you're like,
What's that? I love
yeah,
money.
yeah, if you want to win some money, maybe you're like Jesse and you wanted to go to WrestleMania and you had tickets and you got your money back, but you wanted to add a little bit more to your bank account just by being a wrestling fan. You can go to WrestleRumble.com, which is
Yes.
just the best place you can go for fantasy pick'em contest professional wrestling.
So fun.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. The people over there are awesome. I'm putting it on the screen right now for everyone watching. Everyone who listens to this in audio form on my podcast feed. Obviously, you all know about Wrestle Rumble, but basically the prizes for the WrestleMania Pick'em contest. First place is $500 cash. Second and third both get $100, and then there's also this WrestleMania Prop Pick'em contest, which I think you're entered in automatically. I think if you do, I could be wrong about that because they have this XFL contest as well right now. So don't quote me on this. Go on their website, WrestleRumble.com. There's a prop pick'em and there's also a WrestleMania pick'em contest. So a lot of cash, a lot of prizes. The prop pick'em winner gets a Winged Eagle Championship belt, a replica. So
Those are so nice.
yeah, yeah, really cool stuff over there at WrestleRumble.com. So yeah, go over there and do that.
If you have any questions, tweet at them as well. They're really responsive on Twitter. They're really active on Twitter. It's at Wrestle Rumble, I believe.
Yes, at Wrestle Rumble. Yes.
Yep. It's really fun. Yes, they're great people. And it really, to me, makes the event a lot more fun. And it makes me get more invested in who I'm rooting for, especially during like the Royal Rumble and stuff. It's really fun.
100%. Like, I know for myself, me and you are all on the same lines, I think, when it comes to a lot of this. Most of the time, it's like, I get pretty hyped up for AEW right now in the indies, but for WWE, it's hard to, like, I really don't care that much about a lot of what's going on a lot of the year right now. It just would be the honest
Yeah.
truth. But what keeps me interested is Wrestle Rumble because these contests, I have an actual investment in what's going on. So, and there's no better feeling than when you're watching the show and like things are going good for you and like your predictions are happening and then like I've won one of the contests. I've talked about it before, but like the feeling of like, oh my gosh, I could be winning cash in prizes for being a wrestling fan. And it's cheap. You know what I mean? One entry is $10,
Yeah.
entries for 25, entries for 30 for the potential chance of getting a legit replica title or up to $500. You're gonna watch the show anyways, so why not try to win some cash and prizes while you're doing it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know someone who won $500 on it, and it was really cool, and I was so happy for them. I've done absolutely terrible, but I'm waiting. I'm gonna have my moment. I'm gonna have my moment one day. Eventually, I believe I will have my moment.
It could be as early as this weekend. Like
Could be.
I know you're entered in Wrestle Rumble this weekend.
Yes.
We'll see how it
Yes, I
goes.
am.
I'm in there. Jesse's in there. Um, in future episodes, I'll make sure to give out entries for this stuff. It's a little too close to showtime now for WrestleMania, but in the future, when me and Jesse continue doing these live streams, I'll give away Wrestle Rumble entries going forward. So definitely, tune in for that because I'm happy to hook you all up and try to win some stuff. What do we have on here? Ahmed says Cena versus The Fiend and Edge versus Orton. I'm assuming that means like those are the matches that you're interested in. We'll get
The main events for both nights.
Oh, maybe that's what he's saying. I could see that potentially happening. I figured maybe, there's 2 world titles, so probably the world titles would be at the end of each show, but maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird with the whole Goldberg thing. I mean, we'll talk about that later, but I feel like that kind of lost its spot in the main event because of the situations, which I completely understand, by the way.
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Go for it.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, we won't give our prediction for the match just yet. Just we can talk because everyone is talking about the Roman, like how the announcement for Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns or replacing Roman Reigns just was like seemed like a offhand comment, just like no big deal. So,
Oh my God. And okay, so Triple H, you know how Triple H said that it was going to be like a very unique way? Like, I don't know if they changed their mind. I don't know. I honestly, I feel like there was like an error. I feel like there was like a clip they were supposed to show or something and it just didn't happen. Because the way Triple H said it, just so sarcastically and snarky, like really rubs me the wrong way. Like, how dare you think that it felt like a holier than thou kind of thing. Like, oh, it's going to be really unique. And then to just like brush it off and not even talk about it, just kind of announce it. Like, we all know why, and we all understand why Roman Reigns is immunocompromised and his safety is absolutely the priority. But it's like, I feel like WWE's like, okay, well, we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are more forgiving. So we're just going to say F it and not even talk about it and just kind of like using that, which I don't know. I feel like obviously it's like a super petty thing to complain about these days, but it felt very lazy. And it felt insulting to me as a WWE fan who's dedicated to watching this product and following storylines. I don't know about you. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I just I I hate saying this because I try to be as optimistic as possible when it comes to professional wrestling. So I hate being like this negative about WWE, especially on WrestleMania day. Like I am in the WrestleMania mood. Like I'm in a good mood. But it's one of those things where it just doesn't surprise me. You know what I mean? It's just one of
No.
like it just doesn't surprise me that WWE would be that lazy with it. That they would just like I watched SmackDown mainly for this reason, was to see how they try to explain Roman Reigns not being on the show because they had enough at that point. They'd been advertising him for WrestleMania consistently this whole week. So
Yeah. Up till last week.
yeah, up until Monday on Raw, they were
Right.
talking about it. I mean, so so I tuned in for that. I was like, all right, let's see how they explain this. This might be really interesting. And then also, yeah, Triple H, I guess I didn't even see that, but I've seen in hindsight that I guess Triple H said something about like some unique way of presenting what happened. It was just literally a graphic and an announcement and with like no emotion behind it. And my thing is this:
No.
the titles, how do the titles mean anything? Like Roman Reigns isn't on the show. He's like your biggest star. You know what I mean, as far as like who they've been trying to build over the last handful of years. He's like the biggest star they have. He's main evented multiple WrestleManias already in his career, and he is no longer getting a shot at the quote unquote most important title in the company. And now Braun Strowman is coming off of losses to Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title.
Oh my God, you're right.
And it's just like we're just supposed to like accept like, oh yeah, so now Strowman versus Goldberg really makes sense for the title that means the most in the company, and there's no story at all behind it. It's completely insane that they didn't even just like say anything about what was going on during the build-up of this.
It was so frustrating, and it just makes me wish they would have kept the title on Bray Wyatt, because it would have had so much more significance had they left it on him and he was facing John Cena for that record-breaking title reign. Like, it just makes no sense. And I don't know if that's them just doing that to make us mad to talk about it, which is so rude. But it's definitely one of those things that will be studied and analyzed for years to come. And I don't think we'll ever get a solid answer as to why.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's kind of hard to even explain, right? I mean, they obviously should be able to do something, right? But when you really think about it, like, how do you explain that to the audience? Like,
Right.
all right, Roman's not going to be there anymore because we tried to force him into being on a show when we should have just like never had scheduled him. Should not have been promoting this for the last few weeks. The whole world has known for weeks that he's not going to be there. And how do you even explain, like, well, next in line is Braun Strowman, who used to be the Intercontinental Champion, who is coming off losses.
For some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just,
Like, are we supposed to go back? Are we supposed to go back to when Braun and him were feuding? Like, Braun and Roman were feuding? Are we supposed to, like, think of that? Like, that's what I think.
I mean, how do you even explain that, though? It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, y'all remember a couple years ago when Roman and Braun were fighting? Well, now he's taking his place at WrestleMania, and yeah, maybe. I mean, honestly, and by the way, if you send a super chat, it'll be prioritized. We'll make sure to elaborate on your comment statement, question, all that stuff. But is anybody gonna care if Braun Strowman wins the championship from Goldberg? Is anybody? Like, what does that do for anybody? Braun Strowman winning.
And, well, maybe it could restart that feud with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I guess it could. Do you want to see that again?
I want to see Braun Strowman say, "I'm not finished with you yet."
Yeah,
That
we
was
probably get a
so
whole lot
great.
of that. Yeah, we probably
I think WWE really wrote themselves into a hole with this whole thing, because like I said, I'm not a journalist, like I'm not a reporter, but it's been speculated, and all evidence points to the fact that WWE refuses to mention coronavirus, or I guess we can't say it on here, but the thing. And which I just said, but whatever. More super chats, please, in case we get demonetized.
And you'll see a
we
cool
can't say
graphic
the
on the screen pop up. Same if you
Yes,
subscribe, you'll
it'll
see
be
a little thing
fun.
on the screen. You get your shout out
Yes.
on the interwebs. Oh my god,
On the interweb.
31 years old. All right.
We are both 31. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the reason that WrestleMania is the way it is, they wrote themselves into a hole by not being able to say those words or give that whole situation, because they could have simply gone on TV and said, listen, Roman Reigns, just show that clip, since they're showing all these like flashback clips anyway. Show the clip of Roman Reigns announcing his leukemia. Show the clip of him announcing that he's in remission. That's a very triumphant and historic moment. And then that is a perfect explanation as to why he cannot compete right now with the situation that we have in hand in the world. There's not one decent human being that's going to go, well, he should still wrestle anyway. Literally anyone with a brain is going to go, I get it. And no one's going to complain. But it feels like they're opening the door for people to complain, to talk about it even more, to mention the forbidden words that they don't want mentioned anyway. Like, they've written themselves into this like hole that's making it worse.
Yeah, it's similar to like the Saudi thing, right? Like, where like they won't mention where they're going to do these shows. It's like fucking weird. Like,
It is.
it's just weird. And Ahmed says, "Hey Steven, give them a break. I know you mean well, but it's a really hard time." I agree. Like, I know this is not ideal circumstances, but and we also, we don't know who can and can't even go to these shows. Like, there might have been ideas that they had that were better ideas that they can't execute because some people might not be able to be at the show or whatever the case is. Like, there are circumstances. I understand that, but
Yes.
the bigger point is, like, this is supposed to, like, WrestleMania is supposed to be your biggest show of the year. Like, and this is supposed to be the biggest title belt on the biggest show of the year. And they just didn't do anything to explain why Braun Strowman's getting a title shot. And why Roman
Yeah.
isn't there. Like, if I didn't read the internet or have Twitter or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm just kind of the casual fan and, like, I just tune into Raw and SmackDown each week but don't really pay attention much outside of that, you would have no clue as to why Roman Reigns isn't on the show anymore. You'd know
Right.
what's going on.
And then you're gonna feel like a jerk if you like complain, you know? What if you are a casual fan? Thank you, John McDonald, by the way, for the super chat. We really appreciate it. There's no question or anything, but I hope you saw the cool little GIF on the screen. That was really fun.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
But like, to me, it's doing your audience a disservice to not explain it, because if I didn't know, I would feel like a jerk if I was like, kind of mad about it, and then I realized what the whole real situation was, like what the tea was, and I'm like, oh man, well, geez, I feel like a jerk now. I should never, say that again. I feel really bad. I feel like they need to explain it, and I feel like it's something that, honestly, it sends out a really good public service message as well. Because you look at Roman Reigns and you say, listen, that guy's immunocompromised, and if I was sick and I went out and shook his hand or something, like, I could have, compromised him if I'm asymptomatic. And I my husband just called the cat our daughter's name. Sorry. But it's a really good public message to stay home, because there's people that you're staying home for, not just yourself, but for people that are at risk.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Get into the actual predictions here. And John also, or sorry, Ahmed says, I think Vince is facing a hard time with the XFL and WWE being in the situation. Of course he is. I mean, every company is dealing with, and especially a company like that. I mean, WWE and in the XFL, it's a mess right now. I mean, in an ideal situation, we'd have both seasons, I guess. You would have the XFL running, WWE would be running, and there'd be fans in the stands, and everything would go as planned, and everyone who was advertised to be at the show would be there. But there's also, yes, of course, like, you got to give them a pass to a degree. Like, I totally understand, like, they're in a bad spot and they're doing the best, but are they doing the best they can? I guess that's my question. Like, just not explaining these things. Like, Jesse, you said it yourself. I mean, like, it's, like, what a great public service announcement to have Roman Reigns go out there, educate the world about, the danger of being immunocompromised. And I can't be there, but when I can be there, I'm coming after the world title, whether it's Braun Strowman or Bill Goldberg. I want a title shot when I come back. And then just say something. Braun Strowman didn't.
Just something, yeah.
But that's the other thing. He wasn't even booked for WrestleMania up to that point. Like, maybe he would have wrestled Sami Zayn and they switched that or something. Like, that's possible. But anyway, John, thank you again for another.
Yay, John. John's making it rain today.
Yeah, and dude, if you want to, attach a question or a statement or something to that, we'll definitely read about it and and talk about it. So
yeah, definitely.
If you wanted to send us money, you can do that as well. Definitely not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain at all.
All right, well, let's get into our official predictions here. Let's see how this goes. So we got a lot of matches to get to. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win these matches. We'll pay attention to the chat as much as possible. Once again, any super chats, like, this is a good time to do super chats, because you can give us your actual predictions, and we'll read your predictions right here on the stream, on air, and it'll also go live on my podcast feed in audio form later today when this is over. So let's pull up these matches, and I'm just going to go ahead and start at the bottom of this, and we're going to get right into it. So we got Otis and Dolph Ziggler in a singles match. Jesse, Who wins and why?
Well, things kind of escalated last night, didn't they? The hacker finally made his appearance and spread the truth, and I think I think it's gonna end in DQ. I think that because the whole Mandy and Sonya thing is happening, I feel like there's a lot of tension between Otis and Dolph because of that, and I feel like somehow there's gonna be like a mixed tag. I feel like Mandy and Otis are gonna finally get together. Maybe that's what'll happen. Maybe there'll be like a DQ or something, and then Mandy will turn on Dolph and be with Otis. I'm just dreaming because I really want Otis and Mandy together. I ship that so hard. And then we can do like a Sonya and Dolph versus Otis and Mandy at like what's the next one? SummerSlam? I don't know. I feel like this doesn't finish. This doesn't conclude. I feel like this would be too final for a WrestleMania without the crowd, because I feel like the crowd's super behind Otis, and I'm really glad that he's getting a push, by the way. He deserves to be champion of everything. But I do not think that this ends with a clean finish or like a solid finish. I think Dolph Ziggler may win by DQ. Don't think Otis wins by DQ. I think Dolph Ziggler will win by DQ or maybe not. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm gonna try to pick winners and losers for each match. Just like I think DQ is probably a good. I think it's probably a good guess. I mean, I really don't know. Like Dolph doesn't really benefit one way or another. Like he's just kind of in this spot. It's a good match. Like I like that this match is happening. I like both guys, but like a win would do a lot more for Otis in my opinion than it. Win or Ziggler, it just doesn't matter at this point. Like he's just kind of in the spot he's in with WWE. So if he beats Otis, nobody really cares too much. If he loses to Otis, nobody really cares too much. But maybe people would care to see Otis win on top of it. So I'm gonna go with Otis. But they didn't reveal who the hacker was, right? They just showed like
No.
outline, like in like it was like shadowed out.
Distorted voice, very spooky, or what does that show? Robot? I Am Robot? No, wait, that's a movie. I, Robot. No, it's I Am Legend. Wait.
Did you who do you think that it is?
I think it's Ali.
Yeah, that's probably good. That's probably a good pick.
It is because of that thing, like the Iron Man hand.
Oh, what is he doing? See, I haven't been paying too much attention.
Yeah, I'll send. There's like, if you look for like gifs of Ali, he had like the light thing, and it was like see
Right.
the light and stuff. So like see the truth or whatever, and like the lights thing, it matches up perfectly with his little light show, his little rave light show.
I
Here, I'll
like
try and
that.
find a link.
That could be
Yeah, I think it's
interesting.
He used to be a cop anyway, like in real life.
I'm a big fan of his.
Me too.
He's yeah, so just really random. A shout out to Craig Mitchell, who's an independent wrestler, does a lot of work in freelance wrestling, Southern Underground Pro, like really, really, really good wrestler, and he's trained out of the same spot that Ali trains out of, and he's actually the one that does the camera work on a lot of like when Ali's like walking around the streets and like a lot of those vignette promos and stuff. Craig Mitchell does a lot
Yeah.
of camera work for that, and then they send it over to the WWE, and he's kind of like an unsung hero because like a lot of people know him for his independent wrestling work, but he's really, really talented as a videographer and doing his own thing with that kind of stuff, and he doesn't get any credit from the WWE because they don't talk about who films any of that stuff, but he's the one who does a lot of that, so let me give him a shout out. But yeah, I'll take Otis. Why not? My brother saw
Why not?
my brother saw Otis for the first time last night. My brother's not a big wrestling fan, and he was like, "This guy's awesome." He like just saw him and was like, my new guy. He didn't see him wrestle yet, but he just likes him by seeing him.
Otis is a casual fan magnet. Thank you, John. Thank you again. Look at you. Good
Thank
job,
you, John.
Steven, making a good pick.
What's that say? Oh,
I said
good.
making a good pick.
Oh, Dude, thank you, John. You don't know how much this is appreciated, especially in these kind of times. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A little extra cash here and there is like extra appreciated. So thank you.
Yeah, like how's your brother's gym doing, by the way?
So yeah, shout out to Steel Boxing and Athletics, my brother's gym. He's a co-owner of a small boxing gym here in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, the gym itself is closed for the moment because the whole state is basically on a lockdown now.
Hmm.
But he does work with Parkinson's Foundation, and
Oh, wow.
he's been doing webinars basically where he's on camera with he had like 50 people in his last class, and they all get on cameras, and most of them are of older age, dealing with Parkinson's and stuff. Really, a lot of neurological issue type stuff, like not just Parkinson's, but anything that has to do with motion or older age and that kind of stuff. And even these people who you would think would be like not good with the technology, they're all getting on their cameras, and like my brother's doing these classes
Oh.
in a chair form and stuff, and he's still
Oh, that's so sweet.
getting paid by his foundation. So like he's okay as far like the gym closing for the moment is obviously a big hit, but he's still able to get by because he does this work with his foundation as well. So
That's awesome. Yeah, my
Twitter
husband's in furloughed, by the way. So yeah, but go on Twitter, say that.
or sorry, Instagram I meant. Sorry, go on his
Instagram?
It's at Boxing ATL. Anybody, even if you're, this is probably a good time to, if you're stuck at home and you need some help, like a personal trainer or just like a life coach in general, someone who can help you just reach any of your goals. My brother has a proven track record. He has a lot of clients that he works with in person and over the internet. So you can hit him up at Boxing ATL on Instagram and just shoot him a message. Oh, thank you.
Oh, my phone's dirty.
So yeah, check it out. You guys can, if you hit him up, he can help you remotely. So like if you're stuck at home and you're trying to lose a little weight or just stay in shape while you're quarantined, my brother might be able to help you the same way he's helping these other people. So just hit him up. And thank you for asking about that, Jesse. I know they'll definitely
Yeah, I was a little worried.
be talking about that.
Yeah.
Hope you over.
Been thinking of you. Yay.
All right. So what do we got next? Kabuki
Kabuki Warriors.
versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Is that still happening?
I don't know. Why? Who wouldn't be able to be there?
Nikki Cross. Well, she lives in Orlando, I think.
Um,
I think they all live in Orlando. I don't know if she's traveled. I haven't really seen Alexa Bliss like at all. I mean, Nikki Cross was. I mean, who am I gonna pick? I'm just gonna go with the Kabuki Warriors. I feel like that's a storyline that doesn't really need to change. Even though I would love to see some more spotlight on the women's tag team championship, the championships. I just think that, okay, here's what I think. I'm going to be bold. I think Asuka and Kairi Sane are going to win because Alexa Bliss is going to turn on Nikki Cross.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean that could be a good call. Just sucks that with no fans, like any kind of turn or something. There's like no I mean the commentators are gonna be in for a long night. Like it's gonna be up to the commentators to like keep us. Like they're gonna have to be the crowd basically for us. Like
Yeah.
if someone turns on someone else, like they gotta put it over big time. So that'll be interesting. I'm gonna win this match. I have no idea. I'll have Bliss and Cross ever won the titles before?
Yeah, I think they have.
Have they? I can't remember.
I think.
Um,
They had those shirts. Wasn't it like Bliss Cross Apples? Yes, they did. They did. They had them.
okay. I don't know. I'm gonna take Bliss and Cross. I don't really care either way, to be honest.
Me either.
They haven't made the titles mean anything. I think that Asuka's,
Oh.
especially out of these women, I think Asuka's like incredibly talented. I wish they'd do more with her.
Well, John just said that Kyrie is stuck in Japan.
See, I didn't know if any of them actually lived overseas still, but if Kyrie lives in Japan and she's quarantined in Japan, there's no way she's gonna be on the show.
No, there's no way they could travel.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. No spoilers in the chat. Like if anyone knows
Yeah,
anything for sure, no, keep it spoiler free. But thank you.
he'll be removed and banned. And yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that. I mean, it says cards subject to change. I haven't heard anything about that. So I don't really know if that match is even happening.
Yeah, I don't know. And by the way, for WrestleRumble.com for those picks for the pick'em contest, any of these matches that get changed, they watch those from the. So when you're making your picks, don't take that into account. Like if you're gonna pick Bliss and Cross, still go with Bliss and Cross because like if Kairi Sane's not there and Asuka is, and they replace her, that question's not gonna matter anyway. So like don't let that sway your prediction.
That's a really good statement, by the way. That was a really good thing to say. Clarification.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Imran says, "Who is this guy?" And then the next message says, "You so cute." I'm guessing you're talking about me and not Jesse. So
Yes.
thank you, Imran. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Next match we got Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn's gonna have Cesaro and Shinsuke in his corner. Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak. I like this matchup a lot. I feel like at least they're doing something with these two guys, and it should be a really good match. I'm going to take Daniel Bryan to get the win. What are you thinking about this one, Jesse?
I love Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak together. I love that dynamic. It was such like an unexpected like teaming of or pairing of two people, but it makes total sense because like Daniel Bryan feels like such a good catalyst for like those cruiserweight guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like the guys who need like more recognition and like a
100%.
push.
Yep.
So I think it's perfect. I think that them two together are fantastic. I'm gonna differ. I'm gonna say Sami Zayn retains. I hope he retains just because this is his first championship, and I don't want him to be like a Sasha Banks where he wins and wins and wins but can't ever defend his title. I don't like that booking, so I'm just gonna go ahead with Sami Zayn.
I like it. The good thing is I like everyone involved in this. I like
Right?
Cesaro, Nakamura, Gulak, and Daniel Bryan. So I could see maybe Gulak possibly maybe turning on Bryan and joining with those other guys. Like that could be interesting too, maybe. But the team of Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak is like so good right now that I don't want that. I don't want that to change.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Fair analysis.
After that, we got Edge versus Randy Orton, last man standing.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, this is gonna be nuts. Give me your thoughts on this one, Jesse.
Ooh, I would not be surprised if this match goes either way. It's difficult for me to make a decision because I can totally see Randy Orton just being an asshole and winning, but I can also see Edge finally getting his like revenge. And I think that the promo that Edge cut on what was that, Raw on Monday? Oh my God, that was the best promo I've ever seen. It was so good. I'm gonna pick Edge just because I want him to have a moment, and if he can't have a WrestleMania moment from a crowd, at least have it on WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm wondering if with what you just said, I'm wondering if any of the finishes of these matches have changed. Excuse me, because of no crowd. You know what I mean? Like,
I think so.
I wonder if because I think it's a no-brainer that Edge wins. Like I think that him coming back
Yeah.
9 years off, this would be a huge way to get him back in the as they say on Dumb and Dumber. I just watched that movie the other day for the 1 millionth time, but to get plugged back into the social pipeline, Edge really needs. I mean, getting a win over Randy Orton at WrestleMania puts him right back in like that upper tier of superstars where it wouldn't be crazy for Edge to if he's working a part-time schedule similar to Brock, if he winds up getting, a world title shot coming off of Randy Orton, a win over Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing at WrestleMania, that'd be pretty cool. But with no crowd, you could afford to have Orton win, which would build up like even bigger for when Edge is in front of a crowd to get his revenge. But I feel like you got to just go with the story that makes the most sense right now. So I'm going to take Edge.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah, I expect it to be really good though. I have really high hopes for it. Awkward Unicorn says, "LOL, I love Dumb and Dumber." Yeah, me too. It's a great movie. It was on right after AEW this week on April Fool's Day.
It was because I watched the part where he rolled down the window and was hitting on that lady from Austria, and he said, "Good day, mate."
Yes, such a great movie, classic.
So good.
After that, we got King Corbin versus Elias in a singles match. I'm going to take King Corbin in this one. I haven't been watching a lot of SmackDown, so I haven't seen a ton of the build, but I did see that most recent thing where Corbin like
Threw him off.
like
Yes. Very Scar and Mufasa.
yeah, Scar and Mufasa. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. He did that to him. I feel like they've invested way too much into King Corbin, and I think that they look at Elias at this point just kind of like he's kind of like a mid-card gatekeeper type. Like, I think he's okay either way. Like, he gets a big crowd reaction, but I don't think they're ever going to push him towards like a major championship. Whereas I feel like they have a lot of plans for Corbin, so I'm going to take Corbin for the win. What do you think, Jesse?
I completely agree. I think that Baron Corbin winning King of the Ring was fantastic, and it's just done so much for his character. And so I think it's great. I think it's a great heel character, and I really like Baron Corbin like as a human being. I think that he's actually a really nice person. I met him at Access for WrestleMania 33, and he was really nice, really nice guy. I'd love to see him hold like an Intercontinental Championship sometime. I don't really see him winning the the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship anytime soon. But it'd be cool to see him have like a tag title as well or something. I don't know. Maybe him and Elias will team up eventually. But anyways, I think King Corbin's gonna win. I like his dynamic and his character. I feel like they've really like not dumbed down, like vanilla'd Elias. He's really gotten kind of bland, and I think he needs a change and like a revamp of his character. And I think a really tough loss would do that for him, especially on the grandest stage of them all.
I like that. It was funny watching the Corbin thing and Elias with no fans because, like, as I'm watching it, and this is coming from somebody where, I said it earlier, I'm 31 years old. I started watching pro wrestling on, like, a consistent basis in, like, 1994. So, I mean, I've been watching this consistently for a long time. And seeing King Corbin out there with no fans wearing this, like, crown and cape and, like, this whole... It was, like, so weird. I was like, this is...
weird.
I'm like... What am I watching right now? Like, what have I been watching my whole life? Like, without a crowd, the dynamic is so different. So it's like, how big of a loser would you have to be to walk around with a crown on and a cape and whatever else with no one else around, just like lording over nobody, basically.
It is hilarious to think about it.
It's just funny.
It is.
Yeah, I think we both agree on Corbin getting the win there. After that, we have a match where me and you were talking about it before we went live. A match that don't really know like how or why this is happening at WrestleMania, but Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Who do you think wins this one?
This is most definitely a pre-show match. If they have a pre-show, or what's it called? Kickoff show? Sorry.
Yeah,
I was like, what? We were like, when? Okay, Aleister Black is winning this for sure. There's no way. With the way that they've booked Aleister Black lately, it would be insulting to me as a fan to have him lose.
it could be a good match though. Like,
Be.
it could be interesting. I'm gonna take Aleister Black as well, but hope this one surprises us because Lashley's capable of having good matches. I mean, he's super athletic, obviously powerful. He can have good matches, and Aleister Black has had some really good matches as well, especially during his NXT run. So it could be kind of a sleeper. Here's the other thing to take into consideration. I think that with no in attendance, it's going to be really the best matches. Obviously, like it sounds cliche because like the best matches, like either way, whether there's a crowd or not, if it's a good match, it's a good match in the ring. But like, I think it's especially important this year to have good matches in the ring to keep people's attention when there's no crowd response. So matches like Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley could potentially be show stealers because, because with no audience reactions, it's similar to like there's a lot of indie shows I've gone to that don't have a lot of fans in the crowd, and
Yeah, you were saying that.
right, the shows are great still because the in-ring wrestling is so good that you're just like drawn into it, and it doesn't matter that there's not a lot of people there. You're just invested in what's going on in the ring. But that's a long way of saying I'll take Aleister Black as well. We have the Raw Tag Team titles, the Street Profits taking on Austin Theory and Angel Garza, which is really random tag team. Austin Theory just recently lost to Tyler Breeze on NXT, just straight up the other week. I will say this: Austin Theory is a complete prodigy. I've been
Yes.
since his time in Evolve. I think he's only like 21 or so years old. Like he's super young, incredibly talented. He has all the tools to be like the next John Cena for the WWE. I don't say that lightly. Like he could be that big of a star for them. He checks every box.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's a random match. I am gonna take Theory and Garza to win though. Like
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with it because I think they were gonna go with Andrade, and Garza. I think they were gonna go with them for the win, and I think Theory coming in here, maybe this gives him like immediate credibility, and maybe they win the tag team titles, and when Andrade comes back, he goes. Is he still the U.S. champion?
Ooh, my stomach's making weird noises. Whoa. I thought he got hurt. I thought they said it, or is he?
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
remember.
he was suspended and now he's hurt. But was he?
And now he's hurt.
He's the U.S. champion, isn't he? Or is he not anymore?
Yes. Well, is he? Hold on. Andrade.
Because that's a cool little faction there. If you've got Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin
Oh, it's like a
Theory.
new League of Nations.
Kind of. Oh, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, he is.
Nations, but it's almost like I would call it like.
Well, I guess the Intercontinental Championship would be more of a League of Nations, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. But
Or not League of Nations. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's the United States champion.
because it was supposed to be
that-
him and Garza for the titles, right?
Right.
Before, so that's
But-
interesting.
That is. I can't remember why he's out. I feel like in storyline he's hurt. Or is
Right.
no. So I'm just gonna go with storyline. I'm gonna go with storyline and say that he's hurt, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna go Street Profits just because I like the Street Profits. I don't really have a reason.
I mean, it should be a good match, especially. I mean,
It should be
Montez
fantastic.
Ford- yeah, Montez Ford seems to always rise to the occasion, like big time matches.
Oh, absolutely.
And this could be Austin Theory's big, kind of big debut. Like, honestly, he's somebody that Vince McMahon is gonna love this guy. As long as Theory's not there botching all day, because I saw him not catch Montez Ford on Raw. Like he totally missed him on he went outside the ring over the top rope and didn't catch him.
Was that him or was that Seth Rollins?
Oh, was it Seth Rollins?
I think it was Seth Rollins.
Right. I think you're right. I'm getting confused now. But it was Austin Theory missed the catch, right? Wasn't that?
I think he did.
I think
But
he
Seth
was the one
Rollins-
who missed the catch.
Yeah, but you're right. As long as he doesn't botch fest this,
Yeah.
which I don't think he will. He's fantastic. I think
Yeah.
this could be one of those, like you said, a sleeper match. I think this could be really good.
Yeah. Me too. a match that I don't have any idea what the heck's going to happen because I'm pretty sure this match is going to be changed. The triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, Miz and Morrison defending the belts against the New Day and the Usos. But I'm pretty positive that Miz isn't on this show, or at least that's like what everyone's
No.
saying. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I've heard rumors of a singles match. I have no idea. And I don't want any spoilers, so leave those out of the chat, please. But like, I don't know. I mean, if this match were to happen, I'd probably take the Miz and Morrison to retain, but I don't. So I'll go with them. I'll go with Miz and Morrison to retain because I gotta go based on like what's on the card. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I would go with them to retain. It is interesting because like even last night they didn't really. We were like, me and my husband were watching it, like, all right, let's see how they write them out. And they didn't. They wrote no one out. They just kind of left it up in the air.
Right.
Because I had heard that the Usos did not want to compete because the Miz was sick. Don't know if I think the Miz is just fallen ill, not with any major thing. And I think
Right.
that because the Usos are obviously related to Roman Reigns, they don't want to be around someone who is sick. And so obviously I can completely understand that. I'm just going to pick Miz and Morrison to retain, and they can just kind of. It'll be really interesting to see how they work around these things. It'll be really
Well,
interesting to see what they do.
will it though? You know what I mean? Like, well, with like the Strowman thing, like watch the like they probably won't even explain anything. It's just gonna be like, oh, which is
God, I hope not.
John Morrison versus Big E for the tag team titles, and like just with no explanation.
No explanation. Oh my gosh, yeah, I think they'll do it uniquely, as Triple H said.
Yeah, that would be unique. That would be very unique.
That would be so unique. Yes, by not doing anything at all.
If they do
Absolutely.
if they do a singles match for the tag team titles, like that will be the icing on the cake. I bet you that's what they wind up.
Yes. Yeah.
Moving on, we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins in a singles match.
Kevin Owens. Yeah.
Yeah, love both of these guys. Yeah, who do you think wins, and how do you think this one goes down?
Ooh, okay, so I love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is big. I love Kevin Owens. Want him to win everything, so I'm gonna pick him. However, I think if they truly want Seth Rollins to be this messiah, if they truly want Seth Rollins to be this kind of like, Negan from The Walking Dead, this kind of like cult leader kind of dude, he needs a win. He needs a win. He needs to have this kind of power aura over him. Unless they're like dropping that, which I don't know. I want Kevin Owens to win, but I feel like Seth Rollins could pull out that dub.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Kevin Owens has been one of my favorites for a long time, but he just seems kind of flat at the moment. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's not stuff that's even ever really even his fault. It's just kind of is what it is. I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of pigeonholed into the same kind of spot right now at WWE, and I think that Seth Rollins is perceived as a bigger star, as far as like how WWE looks at him. Like I think that Rollins is still someone that they're gonna really build around. So I'm gonna say Rollins gets the win, but I'd even love because obviously like if AOP is gonna be out with Razor being hurt, and I think Buddy Murphy is hurt as well. I could be wrong about.
No, is he really?
I think so. I hope not, but I think I heard something about that. But
Let me look.
but Rollins needs followers, and that's when even like, I mean, even like Austin Theory, Angel Garza, and like CN, like if you had like them join Rollins or something, like, if you put like just young, up and coming talent, like really talented people in that group with Seth Rollins, and Rollins is winning matches, and they're also winning matches, like the Messiah thing could. I think that the Monday Night Messiah thing has a lot of legs to it. I think that they could do a lot
Yeah.
with Rollins being that character. And I think and just like you said, I think he needs to beat Kevin Owens on the show. So I'm gonna take Seth Rollins.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrade is quarantining after an illness. That's what I have.
All right.
That's that. I don't see anything about Buddy Murphy. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw that, or if I even did. I think I did, but I can't remember.
Dang, that's a shame. Hope he's okay. Or maybe he's like back in Australia, or I don't know. Where is he from?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know where he lives at. I'd assume our
Well, he lives in
that's a
Orlando.
complete
Yeah.
guess. Um. All right, what's next? We got the Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a Boneyard match, and this is where I think what you were saying earlier with like the kind of the wild stuff we could see with no crowd. This is where I think this plays in. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who I heard say it. Um, but there's like the idea that you could have almost like a Lake of Reincarnation scenario with the Undertaker during this, where like AJ like buries him, and then he comes back as like you know the biker or whatever, or like something
Yeah.
like he transforms characters, or he's like some species. He's the Undertaker. The build of this match has been very strange because of the weird gimmick kind of overlaps the Undertaker's had the last few weeks. Like he's kind of mixed in Mark Calloway with the American Badass with the Phenom. It's kind of all blending in now. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with the Undertaker versus AJ Styles with no crowd, and I am gonna take the Undertaker to defeat Styles. But I think that if anyone can pull out a good match with the Undertaker right now, I mean AJ is one of the best in the world still. Just literally phenomenal. No pun intended. Just incredible what he does. So I'm taking the Undertaker. How do you feel about this one?
The phenomenal one versus the phenom. Right.
Right.
I'm gonna take AJ Styles. What? Oh, what is going on? What is happening? Oh, is she inside? Oh my God, there's our neighbor just like came into our. Oh, well, she cannot come in here. Sorry, that was weird. I'm gonna
Quarantine
take AJ
updates.
Styles. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, our neighbor's like 4-year-old is literally in my backyard, in like my porch.
Hmm.
Anyways, I'm gonna take AJ Styles. Um, but it makes sense to have the Undertaker win. Um, I just feel like I'm gonna get a lot of stuff for this, but I'm over the Undertaker. I'm
Oh, me
over it.
too.
Like
I'm sure.
I'm tired of him beating like people that I mean, he was not beat anyone like didn't he already like has a win over AJ Styles anyway. This needs to be AJ Styles' like revenge. And plus for Undertaker's like own health, I don't want to see him like continue to wrestle on TV and stuff, especially when it's not live, or especially when it goes back to live. So I just really want AJ Styles to win. AJ Styles needs like a statement win. I feel like AJ Styles is kind of stuck in this like mid-card purgatory in WWE right now, where he's just kind of like there. And a lot of his matches lately, he has a very New Japan style that a lot of WWE crowds don't really get into until like the very end. It's a very like slowly built match kind of pace. And I feel like him beating The Undertaker would be something that he could use for leverage for so long. And I feel like it would be a great thing for AJ Styles to do to get him back in the top and get him back into the title picture, because that's what I really want for AJ Styles.
Yeah, I 100% agree with everything you just said. I just think that they'll book Undertaker to win. But that's just me. I
Yeah,
completely
I
agree
can
with
see that.
everything. Like I think that I'd personally like to see AJ Styles win.
Hmm.
I think there's still a lot of things they can do with AJ Styles. I mean, he still seems to be in really really good shape for a guy who's like in his early 40s that shouldn't be able to do the stuff that he's doing. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, like I think this could be a good match. but part of me also thinks like Undertaker isn't going to just keep coming back like WrestleMania after WrestleMania. He wasn't at WrestleMania last year, but he did the Saudi show. But like for him to keep coming back, I don't think he's going to keep coming back like just to take losses at big shows. Like
That's true.
especially with him coming back, like he beat Goldberg at the Saudi show, and then Goldberg went on to win the world title. Like they're still kind of playing it like Undertaker is above that.
That's true.
So that's just how I look at it. But yeah, personally, I'm a much, much, much bigger fan of AJ Styles than the Undertaker at this point. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Up next, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defending her title against Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. Jessi, what do you think happens in this one?
I guess the popular pick would probably be either Bayley or Sasha Banks. I'm gonna go Lacey Evans. She's in that match, right? Is she in that match?
Lacey Evans, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna go wild card here and go Lacey Evans. I would love to see Naomi win it back because I love that Glow title, and I feel like Naomi kind of has this. She's gotten the attention of a lot of non-WWE viewers lately, just especially after the Royal Rumble. And I feel like WWE, if they really wanted to, could capitalize off of that. And I think that she's a very, very, very good. She's a very good example for like marginalized groups of people. And I feel like I have a friend who is, African American, and she really loves Naomi. And I feel like WWE really needs someone, of a person of color, to be a champion right now, because, especially a women's champion, because I don't know, I just really think that that's an important thing. I don't know, it kind of makes me a little bit emotional, but I just really love Naomi, and I really think that she's an important figure for girls everywhere. And I saw the impact that she had on Twitter, and I thought that it was really beautiful, and I think that would be really cool. However, I feel like WWE would be such a jerk and just put Lacey Evans in there just because they want to. WWE doesn't really care about all that. So.
Yeah, you saw how Black History Month went for a lot of the African American performers. There was a lot of L's taken, a lot of big L's taken by black wrestlers during Black History Month. But
I know that was unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm literally, this is kind of just a wild card pick for me. I'm gonna take Sasha. What was fun is, I can't remember if it was Raw or it must have been SmackDown. I think it was SmackDown. They were like doing like promos or announcements for this match, like showing the graphics, and the announcers are talking about the match. And I can't remember who it was, the commentator that was like fatal 5-way elimination match, and like they talk about it, blah blah blah, and they're like, and the champion Bayley doesn't even need to be a part of the decision to lose the belt. It's like, well, she would have to if it's an elimination match, though. She would have to. Yeah. Like. Right. Yeah. So that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I catch little things like that when I watch these shows where I'm like I'm not. Nobody's perfect, and it's a super difficult job WWE commentary has, especially right now with no fans, having to relay the audience with no fan reactions, and Vince constantly in your ear and stuff. Kevin Dunn and all that. I get it. It's a super difficult job, but I think it's funny when they make mistakes like that. Having understanding of how these matches actually work, because there's so many damn match types that nobody can keep up with the rules of any of them. By the way, y'all. If you send any super chats, I know we mentioned it before, we'll make sure to read your comment, statement, question, anything that you got. We'll make sure to prioritize that if you super chat. Up next, we have John Cena versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match. This is another perfect example of the empty arena type stuff we've been talking about, boneyard match, etc. You mentioned it earlier in the show that you liked the editing for how they did this playoff of The Fiend and Bray Wyatt both being in the same place on SmackDown last night. I thought that was well done myself.
That was so good.
I'm going to say that Bray Wyatt gets this win because he needs it, because there's no other reason to run this back. I was there live at WrestleMania 30 when he lost to John Cena the first time. Thought that was a terrible move. Now they have a chance to kind of redeem it. I wish this was for the World Championship. I wish he would have never lost that belt to Goldberg. But it is what it is. I'm going to take the Fiend Bray Wyatt. What are your thoughts on all this, Jessi?
I agree. I think Bray Wyatt should get that dub, or the Fiend, or whatever. I think it'll be really cool. I think that Bray Wyatt is such a catalyst for creativity, and I think that, I mean, you look at his what was that match? The match he had with Randy Orton, and
Oh,
what,
yeah.
the Bray Wyatt, the what would they call it? The something match. What was it?
Yeah.
The
What did
compound
they...
match? No.
No, I know exactly what you... what did they call it? Let's know in the chat. What was that match called? It was like the House of Horrors or something?
House of Horrors match. I
Was it?
think that was it.
Was that it?
I think you're right.
If it was,
Yeah.
I just made that up. I apologize because that sounds so stupid. But it sounds so stupid. It might have been a WWE idea. I'm not sure. Was it House of Horrors?
Yeah. I think it was a House of Horrors match. I really do, because there was like all that creepy, like that nasty refrigerator that
There you
reminded me
go.
of the movie Seven. um, but I think
Yep, it
that
was
Bray
House of
Wyatt
Horrors.
wins.
That was it.
Yes, that they really should do something like that. I think it's gonna be super cool. Like I don't know if a lot of people in the chat have ever been to like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, but I think it's gonna be like one of those like super spooky funhouse things. And I think you kind of saw a tease of it with like the puppets, different sides of the ring.
Yeah.
That was fun. So I think that this will be, I really hope that this is a way for them to express their creativity. And like we were talking about earlier, utilize the fact that this has been filmed ahead of time, and use your fantastic video production team and put them to good use. And really give them the recognition that they deserve, and make this a really cool match. And Cena's used to filming movies anyway, so like this is just another movie set for John Cena, and he doesn't need
True.
this win. He's John Cena.
Yeah. Completely agree with everything. I just hope it's a good match. But I think that you're right. I think that it would be a great idea to have like the puppets around the ring, similar to what we saw on SmackDown, and I just hope they don't over dramatize the whole thing. Like if that's even a word,
Yeah.
dramatize.
Over dramatize.
Over dramatize, yeah, that's probably it. I because I think if done correctly, I think it could be a really really fun match with all the kind of tricks they can do throughout this. But but it also could be really 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 corny, similar to that House of Horrors match. So like we'll see
Yeah.
where this one goes. Up next, we have Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. And Becky's held this title for an entire year now, winning it from Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania last year. Jessi, what do you think about this one? Who you got between Baszler and Becky?
I think Shayna Baszler should win. However, looking at kind of just apparently, according to different, reports, that Vince isn't really happy with the way Shayna Baszler has been received. I would assume that Becky Lynch is probably going to retain. I really don't want that. I want Shayna Baszler to win, because I feel like she was called up, I guess she was called up, yeah. And I feel like she really needs to get that win. I mean, she bit Becky Lynch's neck off and like ate her blood, like went
that was
full
weird.
vampire.
It's a little weird.
It was weird, and like no one talks about it. It's like, and I'm like, listen, we need to talk about this. I need to process this properly. So I feel like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go. I really want Shayna to win. I don't know. I'm gonna say Shayna. I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna say Shayna.
I'm gonna go with Shayna also. I think we talked about it on a previous show, but I have this gut feeling that Ronda Rousey's coming back soon. I don't know
Me too.
about that. I just have a feeling about that. And they can go two different ways with that. They could either have the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen thing teased for the millionth time, but with them being all on separate shows now, and Charlotte potentially going to NXT if she, we'll talk about her match. stuff like that. I don't think they'll do another like four horsewoman thing for a while. At least I hope.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
overplayed it.
my husband just sent me some tea, some rumors. He said Becky loses. Her and Seth are taking a break.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Ooh, that
That'd
would
be
be
interesting.
interesting.
Um, I'm gonna take
Go.
Shayna though. I think
Me too.
if Ronda comes back, I think that her versus Shayna would be fun because you have her and Shayna have the history. They're legitimate friends and training partners, and Becky beat Ronda. So now you have Shayna who can lay claim to beating Becky, and that sets up like Ronda coming back and trying. And I think Ronda would be a babyface when she comes back, so you can build up Shayna as this heel champion. Ronda
Ooh.
comes back to try to win the belt. That's how I see it playing out. If in fact Ronda is coming back sometime soon. And what more can you really do with Becky with the belt at this point? Like, you
Nothing.
know, she's had a good.
I love Becky, and I'm so proud of her for what she did for the women's division. But I think it is time for her to kind of step aside. And if she does take a break, if she comes back, she'll be just as over as she was. And honestly, like you were saying, just even like when you were talking about Shayna and Ronda Rousey, like that's kind of to me the next step that this women's division needs to take. Like those two women are legit badasses. Not that saying that Becky or any of the other women aren't,
There is a
but I feel like
difference,
a lot
though.
of people.
There is a
There is a
difference between
difference.
being a legitimate UFC fighter and a professional
Right.
as far as legitimate fighting skills and toughness is concerned, for sure.
And I think that, the women still get a lot of criticism for that. And I feel like if you put Ronda and Shayna, it's like for the benefit of the women's division to have them like go at it. And I think, it makes the other women look good as well because it's like, wow, these like Becky beat Ronda Rousey. Think about it. So it's really cool. And I think that you're right. I think that would that's the next step in the women's revolution, I guess. Just my opinion. Um, but I think that makes me very interested. Like I would tune in to watch that for sure.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens. Well, I'm gonna skip around real quick. We're gonna go to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair just because it kind of plays off of
Yeah.
Shayna and Becky. I was just mentioning like Charlotte potentially going to NXT. I mean, we have Rhea Ripley defending the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte. Am I first on this pick? I think I am.
Oh, I don't care.
I can't remember. I'm trying to go back and forth. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Charlotte going to NXT would be really interesting. The build up for Rhea Ripley hasn't been great in my opinion. Although I have to, I shouldn't. Well, so her build up at NXT was phenomenal, right? Like her winning the title and being like, I mean, just legit badass on NXT. I mean, she's done a terrific job of that. But there's nothing that I've seen so far, and I haven't been paying super close attention, so I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't think that they haven't really presented Rhea Ripley to me on like the main shows as like anything as special as what she comes off as on NXT. And Charlotte's always perceived as the queen, right? It's like what the scenario is, Charlotte's always in the world title mix. And she's always a threat to the championship. Right when you think she's not going to be the champion anymore, she wins the title again. She defeats Asuka to break her streak. She wins the Women's Royal Rumble when everyone thought Shayna was going to get the victory. It's like right when you think that Charlotte isn't the champion level anymore, she wins the title again. And I don't really have a problem with that because I think that Charlotte is incredibly talented and she's very credible and she has good matches and people recognize her even outside of WWE. And a lot of people know who Charlotte Flair is that aren't even wrestling fans. Like the credibility is with Rick, and so all that being said, I don't see her losing to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I think that it's too big of a stage. Even though there's no fans, it's still WrestleMania. I'm gonna take Charlotte to win, and I think similar to Finn Balor, I think she goes to NXT to try to kind of combat what AEW is doing on Wednesdays, and I think they put Charlotte on NXT at least for the foreseeable future. And see where that goes. So that's my prediction. What do you think about this one, Jessi?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's kind of like a double-edged sword to me. While Charlotte winning and going down to NXT would be great for like ratings and stuff, and it would kind of give the division, like the NXT women's division, some more like oomph. At the same time, it's like, I don't know, it kind of is insulting to them a little bit. It's like the NXT women's division is great anyway. I don't feel like they really need Charlotte Flair. I
Sure.
guess if they really do care about ratings that much, then you do you, boo, But since she's not in a title picture, it's very weird as far as like Raw or SmackDown. So I think it does kind of make sense that she would win and kind of go down there and kind of be this, like, it's weird to say Charlotte would be like a veteran down there. I feel like,
Right.
to me, it's almost like she's still fresh out of NXT, even though she's been out of it for a while. But it would be interesting. However, I don't feel like it would be good for Rhea Ripley because she's been built up as such a badass. And I feel like this whole build to like the WrestleMania match has not made her look the best. Like they kind of what's the phrase I'm looking for? Drop the ball, so to speak.
Yeah. They kind of nerfed her. Like,
yeah.
It kind of like, yeah, they've taken like an edge off of her a little bit.
Right. And so it made her look like when she got like kicked in the back when she was walking in. Did you see that? When she was walking backstage and she like didn't even see a Charlotte some reason. Like you didn't see this tall blonde woman coming towards you. Like,
right, yeah, exactly. There's no one else there. No one else.
There's no one else there. They were in quarantine.
Yeah.
Hey, there were people in the back just chilling, and they were not 6 feet apart. They were not social distancing, by the way. And, that was really weird. And it was really funny. I did laugh. But Rhea Ripley sold that kick really well. But yeah, I don't know. I want Rhea Ripley to win, but I think Charlotte Flair is going to win just to add that kind of mystery and make people tune into NXT.
All right, so we both got Charlotte there. And I'm totally with you on all the Rhea Ripley stuff. Can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
As Broski and Hawkins would say, blah, blah, take a. All right, so now we've already talked at length about Braun Strowman and Goldberg, like their rebooking and stuff like that. So if you missed that, just listen to this when it replays or check out the audio when I post it. But we talked a lot about the replacement of Strowman and how WWE dropped the ball on all that already. As far as this actual match goes, you're up first. Who do you think wins? You think Goldberg retains the Universal title against Strowman, or is Strowman the new champion?
Well, we talked about how, Strowman winning could set up a feud with Roman Reigns, kind of rekindle that flame. But I think Goldberg's probably going to win. It just seems silly to have him win the title and then just, like, lose it to Braun for no reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got to go with Goldberg. It's so sad, too, because...
It is.
I love WCW so much. Like, it was my promotion. Like, I grew up in Atlanta. Like, WCW was my thing. I'm wearing a Stardust t-shirt because...
Yes, I noticed that.
Cody's my boy. We went to high school together. Like, WCW country. And I say that because Dusty was around. Sting was around. Lex Luger was around. The Steiner brothers were around. Like, Buff Bagwell went to high school right up the street. Xavier Woods... A lot of people don't know this. Xavier Woods wrestled Cody in high school back in the day.
What?
Yeah, back in high school in amateur wrestling. Cody won. But yeah, I went to a school called Lassiter. Xavier Woods went to a school called Sprayberry. It was our rival high school, like 10 minutes up the street. So wrestling town, and we were WCW. Like I was always WCW over WWF growing up. And so Goldberg was the man. I mean, he was from Atlanta. He was a former Falcons player. He won the title against Goldberg in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta when I was growing up. Goldberg, man. But seeing him as the champion in 2020 in what's supposed to be the biggest promotion in the world does nothing for me. And
Right.
sad to say, but Strowman does even less for me at this point. So like this is a match.
Fair.
I don't really care who wins, but I'd rather see Goldberg with the title than Braun Strowman right now. As sad and a lot of that has to do with the way that Strowman was booked. Just straight up. I can't get over the fact that he's coming off of an Intercontinental title loss. I know it was to 3 people, but like he's been perceived as somebody who is not on the same level as Goldberg, as Roman Reigns, as Brock Lesnar, etc. He's below those guys. And him beating Goldberg, I don't think does anything to make that perception any different. I really don't. Because
That's a very, very good point. Very good point.
I don't think it does anything for him. Like, remember when he won that big dumb green championship belt from the Greatest Rumble and is never seen again? Nobody cares.
That's so right.
Nobody cares.
He needs to bring that back.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he could. Just no one would know what it is. Like, what's this green title? That's
right, because they don't talk about it.
One time. Yeah, it's just, I don't think anyone's going to care. Let us know in the chat. You know, am I wrong about this? Like, Braun Strowman, like, would you want to see Braun Strowman as the world champion right now? Would you rather see Strowman as a champion than Goldberg? Like, I understand people getting behind a Strowman, but it's also like, you know, you can only be booked so poorly to a point where I just stop caring about you. And the WWE does that with a lot of talent. It isn't just Braun Strowman. They do it with a lot of people. But this is what it is, and that's the situation we're in. If it's me, I think what I would do, match starts, Goldberg goes for a spear, Strowman picks him up in that scoops in his power slam, hits him with a power slam, Goldberg kicks out, another power slam, Goldberg kicks out. Then there's like 6 spears in a row and a jackhammer, and Goldberg wins. Just like
book it.
Yeah, get in, get out. If they can do anything similar to what Goldberg and Lesnar did at WrestleMania 33 that we were both at in Orlando, that was If they can do anything like that, I'll be happy. Yeah, anything like that, they can come close to that, I'll be happy. I just don't see it happening. But
yeah, over 40 said, glad I'm not the only one who is mad about this matchup, especially sad considering it's for a main championship. Agreed.
100%. That's over 40.
Over
40.
Oh, I get it. It's golf, right? 40, but 40.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of part-timers being the main champions. Ouija? Oh yeah, Strike Gaming? I don't know. The German in me wants to pronounce that J as a Y. Just said, I'm just sick of part-timers being main champions. Agreed.
Yeah, Bray should have never lost the title. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Oja Strike Game.
1,000.
Or however you say it. Yeah, I think you're totally right. I mean, it goes to an underlying issue, and we'll get to that with Lesnar and McIntyre here in a second. They've over the last, give or take 20 years, has done a terrible job of building new stars. Terrible. Some of this stuff was out of their control. Brock Lesnar having a company built around him and then leaving to try out for the Vikings and then going to the UFC. That put them in a rough spot. But then they had John Cena for like 15 years as their top guy. And John did a phenomenal job for that company. You say what you will about John Cena as a performer and whether he should have won all the WrestleMania main events and whatnot. Like, say what you will, but he carried that company on his back for like 15 years when there was very little interest in it.
So true.
And and during that time, they didn't build anyone else at the same level as him. The only person that came even close was CM Punk. They kind of tried.
And that is so apparent now. It's so apparent now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And joke about it, every now and then. It's like I've talked about it a lot on different podcasts and stuff that I do. But when John Cena left and we were left with Roman Reigns as the next guy, people started really realizing how good John Cena was. Because now you don't have it anymore, and you're like, oh wait, this is our next option? Oh wow, this other option was actually way better. I shouldn't have been booing this guy this whole time. This guy's actually way better than what we have going on now. But the problem is they didn't do anything to get anyone else there. And then when they had chances, they put it all back on Brock Lesnar. Instead of building Bray Wyatt, instead of building Ambrose, building so many different people they've had over the years, they put everything right back on Brock Lesnar when he came back. Pretty much started, I mean, he came back, he lost to Cena, and then after that, he started beating everyone, and he broke the streak and all that stuff. And they've put everything back on Brock, and now it's perceived that nobody's on Brock's level. And there's this, and the few people that are perceived to be on level are Brock, Goldberg, and The Undertaker. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Those are all part-time guys who are far out of their, well, I shouldn't say far out of their prime. Brock can still go when he's motivated, but
Brock can still go, and he's not part-time.
right. But you know what I'm saying? It's like those are basically.
Yeah, no, I totally get what
And
you're saying.
Cena's in there too. I gotta mention Cena. He's still there also, and like The Rock when he's back. But it's this very small group of people that, and they haven't gotten anyone to break through that, and it's just so obvious when you have situations like Braun Strowman, because Strowman couldn't be on that level. He was like one or two big wins away from being on that level, and they pulled the carpet out from under him multiple times, too many times. And
Too many times.
They're in the same spot with Seth Rollins. They're in the same spot with a lot of these people that they never elevated all the way to the point that they needed to where you're in a spot where you wouldn't have a part-time champion, and you wouldn't have somebody that people aren't interested in wrestling for the world title. So it's on the WWE for not building stars. They have all the talent in the world. They have more talent on their roster than anyone in the whole world. That includes AEW. When you look at the volume of talent they have, and they don't know what to do with it.
It's that problem with 50-50 booking.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Right when you feel like somebody's getting to that next level, they take some losses and they try to get everyone to the same, but nobody gets past that. And that's how you make superstars. You got to get past that, and
Right.
and that's a perfect segue to the last match we're going to talk about: Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. I don't think that McIntyre is past that. I don't think he's going to pass that. I think Brock Lesnar is going to beat Drew McIntyre. I think it's that
Absolutely.
he's not on the same level.
Not close. I mean, that cool video package that I've seen pictures of with him like carrying barrels in the mountains and stuff is pretty dope. But and I think my decision towards this match probably would be different if we were having the stadium match. I feel like, a big babyface win is always like a great thing. However, because of the circumstances surrounding WrestleMania this year, I do not think Drew McIntyre has a chance. I think Brock Lesnar wins. I think Brock Lesnar dominates, which is unfortunate for Drew McIntyre. What I would really love to see is a gritty, hard match, and I think people underestimate. I think you and I both agree about how great Brock Lesnar is, and I think that this has a potential to be a freaking amazing match. I feel like both Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar can freaking go. I feel like Drew McIntyre has just grown exponentially since the 3MB days. And I feel like Brock is such a good, he is a really good seller. And I feel like he could sell Drew McIntyre as a legitimate competitor. And I feel like this can't be a squash. I feel like this is going to be gritty and fun. I think this is going to be really fucking badass. But I think that Brock Lesnar is going to win.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Whoa. Just announced 20 minutes ago, Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Drew Gulak versus Cesaro have been added to the WrestleMania kickoff tonight.
That's random. I mean, Cesaro versus Gulak could be really good.
That'll be good, but
I mean, it's random. So
yeah.
I mean, so there is a kickoff. We were talking about that earlier. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if the show is 4 hours long or 5 hours long when you count that kickoff. Times 2, of course, because this will be happening tomorrow as well. But what was the other match? Liv Morgan and who?
And Natalya.
Yeah, that's one I don't care about at all.
I don't care. Yeah.
I mean, good for Natalya to get on the show because she's always been in a bad spot. she's just in like
Right.
so bad for Natalia because she's like been groomed to be like this incredible women's wrestler her entire life, from her dungeon days and her upbringing and the women's revolution and what she did for NXT and everything, and she's just constantly overlooked and undervalued. I feel like someone like her would just destroy an AEW. Like she's so perfect for that AEW women's division. It's like
Right.
um,
Oh my God.
but but yeah,
But anyways, back to the main event.
what's that?
Back to the Brock really quick. The once you finish what
Oh,
you
yeah.
were gonna say. Sorry.
Oh, I don't even remember what I was saying at this point.
I don't know. We were talking about Brock Lesnar being awesome.
Oh yeah, we said it on a previous show, I think. But this match could be cool in front of no fans if they lay it in, like they really lay it in. Like if you hear those punches and those kicks and those chops, I mean, because especially because you can have like an echo in the arena too, where like with no other audio. I mean, you could really hear Brock clubbing on McIntyre's back and stuff.
Dude.
Like that could be cool. But I think Brock
That would be so. Brock wins for sure. If he does, I'm gonna riot.
if Brock wins, we riot. If Brock doesn't win, we riot.
Brock loses, yeah.
Well, that's it for the predictions. Let me do some plugs real quick, and also if you want to jump in the chat, any last predictions, comments, statements, anything. If you super chat, we'll make sure 100% to read those and talk about those before we go off of here. Doesn't matter what amount you donate either. Whatever you put on is good enough for super chat and the shout out and all that stuff. WrestleRumble.com. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Jump on there right now. The first place prize for the WrestleMania Pick'em contest is $500 cash. Second and third both get $100. There's also a WrestleMania Wild Prop Pick'em contest, which the winner will receive a replica Winged Eagle Championship belt. Those are both available over at WrestleRumble.com. Check them out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I think all three. At the very least, Twitter, at WrestleRumble. Also, check out Heroes and Legends. They are an awesome pro wrestling memorabilia company. Have action figures, DVDs, autographs, everything you can think of at a fair price. Nice people. They do live streams with like auctions and claim sales and stuff like that. So check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HL Pro Wrestling. And we also talked about my brother Brian earlier. Check him out on Instagram at Boxing ATL. That's BOXING ATL. If you're stuck at home, need someone to help you reach your goals, lose weight, get in better shape, whatever it is, especially during the quarantine, Brian can help you with that. Just hit him up, and he will help you remotely. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, once all this is over, he'll meet you in person as well. But if you're anywhere in the world, he'll help you remotely. Yeah, so any closing thoughts, Jesse? Anything else that you'd like to say before we get out of here, and anything else about WrestleMania?
I think it should be fun. I think it's going to be an interesting show. Definitely one for the history books. Just remember when you're watching it that you're literally going to watch something that people are going to be talking about for like decades to come. Like, I don't think people kind of realize that in the moment, but this is so historical and monumental. Like, this is going to be the most bizarre WrestleMania ever. And I think that that's something to kind of sit back and appreciate almost. Like, this is unprecedented. We are in such a weird time. And it's just so incredible in like so many ways. And I really think that it's going to be, like I said at the beginning, I really think that this has the potential to be a really good show if WWE does their production right, and which they have a great video production team. And I just really think it'll be fun. You know what also goes really well with WrestleMania's pizza?
Yes.
I'm sponsored by Papa John's. I am working with Papa John's, #ad. We are throwing a pizza virtual watch party. So I'll just be live tweeting like always. Thank you to everyone who was super nice to me on my tweet about it. This is a really big deal to me. As you guys know, my husband was laid off. So I can take any promotions that I can get and partnerships. So if you want to order pizza all year in the US and Canada, use the code JESSI25, 25% off your regular price online order. It would really, 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 oh, there it is. it would really, really, really help me out. Using that code shows Papa John's that I am providing them with engagement, and then I have high engagement numbers. And the more people use that code, the better I can do. So I really, really appreciate everyone supporting me for that. Papa bless you all. A click of the mouse and Papa's in the house. It is get some sody pops. Look at those sody pops and that delicious garlic bread, that cheese pizza.
Look at this.
Super yum. Yes.
You don't have to pay for these. This is like it's like free OnlyFans right here. Look at that.
Right? Yes. Look at that. I can remove that Diet Pepsi bottle if you subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
Yes. I do have an OnlyFans. Hashtag not that kind, but I do have an OnlyFans. If you, I don't really go into my Twitter DMs a lot. So if you do want to like contact me and talk with me, OnlyFans is the best place to do that because I do take those subscriptions and the people that pay that money very seriously. So I will always respond and talk to people on there because I appreciate that so much. Not that I don't appreciate everyone on Twitter, I really do, but it gets very, very overwhelming and I get scared and just overwhelmed. And so OnlyFans is the best place to reach me. It's onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye. Like I said, use the code Jessi25 on your papajohns.com pizza orders for 25% off your regular priced menu items.
Yes, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Huge shout out to Papa John's for sponsoring Jessi on that. Papa bless. Awesome stuff.
Papa bless.
Make sure to give us both follows on Twitter. I'm at FightTalk _ FIGHT TALK _ Jessi is at Jessi the Buckeye, JESSI THEBUCKEYE. Enjoy WrestleMania, everybody.
Yes.
Maybe we'll come back. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow before the next show.
Yeah. Maybe we can react to what happened tonight.
Yeah, let's do that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Plan on doing that. If we don't, sorry in advance, everybody, but we'll plan on doing that.
Just check on Twitter. Follow us both on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll keep you all updated. But yeah, the plan we'll try to do one of these around the same time tomorrow, leading in, giving our reactions and possible updated predictions depending on if anything changes with these shows. So we'll try to keep y'all updated. Y'all enjoy WrestleMania, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.